The countdown continues for the 2008 Atlantic HR Conference, taking flight. We're joined by co-chair David Cannon. David, I know you're looking forward to it. The tickets are going very, very well, and it won't be long before this is a sellout. Are you surprised at all by that?
Everything's going well, Gare. Starting with the sponsorship, the partners that we've got coming on board, just tremendous, tremendous interest in this event. It is the first time we've had all 4 Atlantic provinces getting together, but even so, we're very, very impressed. We've got just a few slots left over. I mean, if there's anyone still interested in becoming a partner, we've got 1 or 2 spots left over, but not much more. Ticket sales going great ever since we got the first PR pieces out. We've got careerbeacon.com as our platinum sponsor, and they've given us space through the Irving Group and the Times and Transcript and the papers. The articles are going well. This first PR piece, I mean, you know, what
You're
can I
surprised
say?
yourself.
Oh, well, when you came across and talked about this as a new way for HR people to get the message out, but we put that out through all 3 HR associations. That's over 2,000 HR professionals, and a lot of them pass that up the line in their organizations, and it's obvious from the feedback we've got that it's just been going great.
And I know that when this conference was initially planned, there was some skepticism. There was some people wondering, what road are you going down? You've got these 2 keynote speakers, Roy Williams, Don Schminke, that on the surface, it looks as though they have nothing to do with HR.
Well, Gare, I blame my co-chair for that. I mean, my co-chair was the one who brought these 2 in and insisted that we as HR professionals could go and learn something from these 2, and I believe you're right. There's no doubt that we've had many of the same sorts of speakers in here before in other conferences and other venues, and these 2 we haven't had. These are 2 fresh faces, and the HR professionals, the executives, the business side of the community, we're getting tremendous response from the business community, and it's just great. You know,
I was going to ask you, David, just as the thought occurs to me, one of the things that I know you're passionate about is getting HR to a more strategic level, being taken seriously at the executive level. Are you starting to see how this conference is going to help to do that?
Yes, I am. I mean, now this was a passion of mine. Let's admit it right up front that I've always felt that HR needed to be heard at the highest levels of the organization. That you just can't go and create a vision in the company and move forward without having HR being part of building that vision in the first place. And that's why I agreed to take on a significant role in this conference. And I am just very pleased that we've got these 2 keynote speakers to come in and educate both HR professionals and to reiterate the message to CEOs and COOs that they must have HR at that table. So I think it's a tremendous way to get a message across.
And from the sense, from what I gather, it seems, David, that this is the type of conference where if you're an HR professional, you actually want to make sure your CEO is going with you to this conference.
Yes, I do advocate that you have both the I mean, we're talking about building a close relationship between the senior human resources person and the CEO of the company. So what better way to start than to get out for 3 days at the conference together and really both enjoy yourself and learn a great deal.
Let me ask you as well, David, about in terms of the way this conference has come together, it hasn't been without the hard work of a lot of volunteers. And this is as good a time of any to kind of, for you to talk a little bit about what people don't see behind the surface, you know, underneath the surface, and the kind of help you're getting from so many volunteers.
I'd love to be able to just list them off in order now. We'll do that at the conference, but we have 12 subcommittees, as you know, Gare, and we've got everyone from partnership and sponsorship and social committee and education committee, from finance, from volunteer. We have a volunteer committee just for the volunteers and the volunteer organizations that we've got in the hotel, around the venues, helping the keynote speakers, helping all of us subcommittee volunteers. I mean, we have, I'd have to say we've got 100 volunteers involved in this effort. It's just been tremendous. And of course, it's almost entirely a volunteer effort. So if it wasn't for the volunteers, where would we be?
Let me ask you this as well, David. Besides the keynote speakers, which are attracting a lot of attention and even from mainstream media, there's a number of other breakout sessions that are going to just absolutely not only wow people, but give them some very practical take-home things.
Well, we do have the 2 keynote speakers, each giving tremendous 3-hour presentations, but we have 15 other sessions that are taking place over the 3 days. And we have something there at all levels for everyone. And that's what I do want to emphasize. Even though we're driving this as a fantastic way to get information to those senior HR people, we also have sessions for more junior people in the organizations, for mid-level. I expect that any organization could not only bring their chief executive officer, chief operating officer, head of their human resources function, but they could bring their entire HR department, and we'd have something there for all of them.
I also got to get you to talk a little bit, David, about this being the first ever Atlantic HR Conference. It sounds like you really wanted to put a stamp on this one.
Well, I have to go back and again congratulate the Human Resources Association in Nova Scotia. For 10 years they've been running a fabulous conference every second year, and they thought that this year, okay, maybe we could get New Brunswick involved in the process. And so we started off saying, well, did we want to be just the flip side of Nova Scotia? And we said no. We want to, if we're going to go from Nova Scotia to New Brunswick, let's get not just the 2 provinces, but let's get all 4 provinces involved, and let's make it an annual conference where we're building off the same synergy year after year, instead of trying to alternate between one organization doing something for a year and then another organization doing it for a year. So it's the idea of, instead of alternating, we just build and build and build. And this is what we're starting from, is the first ever Atlantic HR Conference, and we intend to build from that. And when it comes back to New Brunswick 2 years from now, we're going to have, you know, an even higher hill to climb, and we're looking forward to it.
Another added feature at Taking Flight is going to be the ACRA Award. So, David, you're really putting a lot on the plate in Moncton come October.
Yes, ACRA stands for the Atlantic Canada Human Resource Awards. There's something we had started in Nova Scotia in 2003. New Brunswick got on board in 2004. We've hosted it in 2004, 2006. It's now 2008. So it's our turn again. And I'm really looking forward to us putting it into the conference as just extra added value. It's going to be the largest, I'm hoping it will be the single largest gathering of human resources professionals ever in Atlantic Canada in for that Thursday night gala. And the ACRA Awards is just wonderful. I've enjoyed it very much myself over the years, from nominating to being on committees to chairing the first ACRA committee here in 2004 to actually being at the awards presentation as a nominee. So I've been there at all levels, and I enjoy it very much.
He's too modest. He is. David Cannon, ACRA Award winner, co-chair of the 2008 Atlantic HR Conference, Taking Flight. All that and more of what we've talked about, networking opportunities, great keynotes, and very insightful information, very relevant information, unbelievable clarity coming at the 2008 Atlantic HR Conference in Moncton, October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd.